The first question was around the online reporting system. I'm not aware that we have an online reporting system. I have said when I did the presentation that the system that we're firearms control system that we're having, that we are looking into, we are wanting to assess how we can recapacitate that system to be able to factor in some of the modern systems management qualities that we would like to see there, such as e-applications, such as online reporting. So at this point in time, the system as it is does not have that capacity. And we are hoping that once it's evaluated and we get our feedback from CSIR in terms of some of our wish lists, we will be able to build onto what is existing to recapacitate that system and to allow it to do a little bit more than it is doing now. The other question was around a court order that found the minister and myself in contempt for not issuing license. I think, like Mr. Groenewald, what one would appreciate are details around that so that we can respond to you more specifically. But also to say, indeed, we remain very concerned, it doesn't first and foremost any citizen whose rights are being infringed upon. It would be a concern. It would even be more so also, to economic citizens who are investing in our country, as you're saying. We take it seriously. We don't take it for granted. So we would like to look into that matter and see whether it has been remedied, and if they were delayed, what are the lessons that we can pick up out of the delays in remedying that situation. The issue of the green cards, I know it's, even though you didn't see it in the turnaround strategy, it's a matter that is on our radar screen. And I'm going to ask both General Jacobs to talk a little bit around this, because we're looking at avenues to say, are we going back to court to settle the matter? Are we going to engage with the stakeholders? And when that is done, we will then approach the minister to make propositions, and it is stakeholders such as yourself that we will also be engaging with. May I ask General Jacobs to comment on this question?
Thank you, General. General, the issue of the possible solution to the green licenses, the court case, is also addressed in the draft bill. There are proposals on how it can be addressed. Of course, I think that even before the bill goes to Parliament, if there could be discussions between ourselves and the applicants, and we could get a solution before the bill is in Parliament, I think that will actually be the ideal situation. General, the application was not brought by the SAPS, and as was rightly said, after the interim order was obtained, no further steps in taking the matter further has been done by the applicants. But I really think in terms of the proper implementation of the Act, I totally agree. It is a problem for the SAPS to recognize old licenses that were issued under an Act that has already been repealed, and in the meantime you have to implement the present Act. I really think it's one of the key issues that we need to address in terms of going forward of a full and proper implementation of the Act. Thank you, General.
There was a secondary question to that, to say how many green licenses do we have. I think they're just going through the system to get us the number, and I think at some point they'll give it to the facilitator during the course of the day. The other question was around the fit and proper status, and I think it was more a comment to say the issue of background checks remains crucial, and what we've been advised is that we should, as we take this matter forward, not reinvent the wheel, benchmark and look at what others are using, look at reviewing the body of existing knowledge as it has been suggested. We definitely will do that, and we'll take you up on that, because if there's work that has been done, it really behoves us to look at what is there and assess it for implementability, as well as leverage that work by benchmarking it with others, because I'm sure it's not a novel idea to us only. There should have been others who have done that before, so we thank you for that. And I'm hoping that the colleagues will engage with you so that we get your details. Okay. And then the last question was around Cape Town, the searches in schools, the engagement with the schools. I think, let me start off by saying the Sub-Department of Basic Education School Safety Program, and I'm sure the Deputy Minister here, the champion, can talk a little bit more about it. It's very fundamental, because we would like to use it for multiple issues. One of those would be this very one, and the offer that we received earlier on, and many others, to start saying, how do we make sure that the relationship between our children and firearms is such that it matures at an early age, because they are knowledgeable, they are educated, they understand the value and use of these instruments. So we take that as a platform that we can also further utilize to ensure that we engage our children around these matters. We also know that in schools, in some of the schools, there have been deaths emanating from guns, children who brought guns from home and killed others. So it's clearly important for us not to start late, to start with them whilst young. We're doing the same with drugs. We're doing the same with, other general education around issues of crime, because it's important for them to be, child crime savvy, citizens, children who are crime savvy, who in future would be adults who are safety and crime savvy. So that's a platform we will continue to use. The searches are very crucial, because when we do that, the children know that if they are carrying wrong things, should it be the day of police to search, they would be found with those illicit, whether it's drugs, whether it's guns. I think it's yielding. It is necessary to do so, because it helps them also to know that it's wrong to do it, and if I'm found with that, it is a wrong act and there will be sanctions for that. But also to say, at any given time, the police may come in and do the work. And I think it's a partnership that the Department of Education requires. I think it's extended parenting in the absence of their parents. We help the school as surrogate parents to keep the school as a homely and controlled environment. So I think there's value in terms of that. If you just look at the Western Cape, a lot of what was happening 3-4 years ago in the schools, children are able to go to school, even the incidences that are being reported from schools have significantly reduced.